Welcome back to our channel, where we share updates and untold stories about Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. Today, we bring you some news. King Charles tears over Prince William's daring move to Diana's secret letters just exposed. Amidst the upheaval of New Year's Eve, Princess Anne cautioned King Charles regarding Camilla's conduct, which could jeopardize the monarchy and severely undermine the legacy of the late Queen Elizabeth. Concurrently, King Charles faces startling revelations from Princess Diana's private diary, prompting Prince William to demand accountability concerning the circumstances of Princess Diana's death. The disclosure of Princess Diana's secret journal has shocked the royal family, reigniting concerns about her life, marriage, and the tragic circumstances surrounding her death. New information on Diana's troubled relationship with King Charles and the challenges she encountered as a member of the British royal family has been revealed as a result of the contents of the journal, which are replete with unfiltered feelings and open accounts. The findings have not only caused King Charles to be in a state of disarray, but they have also spurred Prince William to demand that a new inquiry be conducted into the murder of his mother. This has brought a new level of attention to the unusual circumstances that surrounded the deadly accident that occurred in Paris. The Secret Diary, a spectacular look into the heart of Diana. During the most difficult years of her life, Princess Diana found solace in her secret journal, which served as her hiding place. Beginning in the early stages of her marriage, Diana began to utilize her writings as a means of expressing feelings that she was unable to communicate with others. Diana, who was known as the People's Princess, was adored by the general public. Nonetheless, her diary displays a striking contrast between her gorgeous public image and the distressing reality that she experienced behind closed doors. Diana was able to convey her disappointments, fears, and troubles with the confines of royal life via the handwritten writings that she kept about herself. From optimism to disappointment. The first entries in Diana's journal revealed that she was filled with anticipation over her marriage to Prince Charles. In the beginning, she had a picture of a relationship that was founded on love and respect, but her hopes were quickly dashed when she saw that Charles was becoming more emotionally distant from her. In one of her entries, Diana expressed her profound sentiments by writing, "I believed we were meant to face this together, but it seems like I am battling by myself." When she finally came to grips with the reality of her marriage, these statements marked the beginning of her disenchantment with the situation around her. Diana's postings grew more loaded with feelings of frustration and melancholy as her optimism began to erode. She spoke in depth about the difficulties she had while navigating royal life, the loneliness she experienced while living in the palace, and her growing knowledge of Charles's continued connection with Camilla Parker Bowles. Diana's journal became a reliable confidant, and it was there that she documented the anguish she felt when she realized that her husband's affections were being dominated by another woman. The go-to-hell moment in time. Diana's journal contains a number of noteworthy discoveries, one of the most startling of which is her statement of rage and betrayal against Charles. She wrote in one of her entries, "It seems as though my feelings are unimportant. According to him, I am nothing. Just how could he treat me in such a manner?" She wrote the terrifying line, "Go to hell," during a particularly difficult period. It is a strong outburst that reflects the extent of her anguish. The terrible emotional toll that Diana had to undergo is brought to light by this event, which was the result of years of neglect and betrayal. There have been contradictions and betrayals of trust. The journal also contains information on the disputes that Diana had with Charles over his relationship with Camilla. One of the saddest passages she wrote was about how she asked Charles, "Why her? To what extent does she possess attributes that I do not possess?" Charles's reaction, or rather its lack thereof, left Diana feeling abandoned and embarrassed. Charles's tendency to reject Diana's worries at the conclusion of these conflicts exacerbated her feeling of isolation. Diana's journal entries indicate the tremendous effect that Charles's adultery had on her self-esteem and mental health, despite the fact that she made measures to save the marriage. She said in her writing that she was constantly overshadowed by Camilla, and that she was having a difficult time finding her position in a marriage that was devoid of love and respect. The fact that Diana was aware of Charles's romance, in addition to the fact that the royal family seemed to tolerate it, further isolated Diana and added to her rising bitterness. The outward appearance and the internal struggle, Diana maintained a calm and upbeat demeanor in public, despite the unraveling of her marriage behind the scenes. Her journal entries reveal the intense pressure she faced to uphold this fade, even as she grappled with feelings of loneliness and sorrow. She wrote in one of her entries that she was experiencing a duality in her life, saying, "I am under pressure to be perfect, but I feel like I'm crumbling inside." There were other challenges that Diana faced in addition to her marriage. Her journal provides a detailed account of her struggles with mental health conditions such as bulimia and mental illness. She talked openly about her emotions of worthlessness and loneliness, stating that even in a palace full of people, she often felt unseen and unheard. She also shared that she had experienced feelings of solitude. These disclosures provide a more in-depth understanding of the emotional toll that Diana had to bear as she negotiated the difficulties of royal life. It broke Prince William's heart again. Prince William, who has been determined for a long time to preserve his mother's memory, has been profoundly impacted by the disclosures that were found in Princess Diana's journal. Reportedly, William went through a wave of anguish and remorse after knowing the personal facts of her hardships upon discovering them. William was especially upset by writings that underlined Diana's emotions of loneliness and sorrow, according to people within the organization. According to the statement of one insider, William has always carried the weight of his mother's suffering, but the diary has brought a new level of heartbreak to the situation. Even though he was just a youngster at the time, he had the impression that he did not meet his responsibility to protect her. In the aftermath of these disclosures, William has appealed for a further inquiry into the circumstances surrounding Diana's death. He is of the opinion that it is essential to have a comprehensive grasp of his mother's life and the challenges she faced in order to properly respect her memory and guarantee that her tale is conveyed in an honest manner. William's dogged persistence reflects both his unwavering affection for his mother and his dedication to the cause of justice. King Charles's remorse. The publication of Diana's journal has forced King Charles to confront the consequences of his actions. In the course of their marriage, Charles is reported to have caused Diana a considerable deal of suffering, and he is said to be filled with a profound sense of sorrow for his actions. He's been left with a terrible feeling of remorse as a result of the contents of the journal, which have forced him to face the emotional neglect and betrayal that characterized their relationship. Reportedly, Charles's sorrow is exacerbated by the awareness that his acts had a long-lasting influence on Diana and their children due to the consequences of his conduct. A person who is close to the king disclosed the following information. Charles has always carried a level of remorse for how things unfolded, but the diary has brought everything back to the surface. He longs to rewind time and alter the course of events. As Prince Charles works his way through the difficulties of his reign, the revelations that have emerged from Diana's diaries have put a shadow on his legacy. Public scrutiny of his past actions has put him in a precarious position. He is now required to strike a balance between his duties as king and the personal implications of his past. It's a mother's legacy. The affection that Diana had for her two boys, Prince William and Prince Harry, is evident in the journal that she was keeping. In spite of the difficulties she was experiencing in her personal life, she never wavered in her commitment to her children and made every effort to protect them from the upheaval that was occurring in her marriage. On the other hand, the discoveries contained in the journal have unavoidably impacted their way of thinking about their father and the royal family. The contents of the journal have spurred demands for a further inquiry into the circumstances surrounding Diana's death, according to Prince William. William's drive to unearth the truth is said to have been fueled by the fresh evidence that was disclosed in her letters, as stated by several sources. The pursuit of justice underscores the profound impact Diana's life and death have had on her oldest son. Prince Harry, on the other hand, has made comparisons between the challenges that Diana faced and his own encounters with the royal institution. Harry, who has decided to separate himself from royal obligations in order to emphasize the welfare of his family, finds the disclosures in the journal regarding Diana's sense of captivity and her struggles with the media to be quite meaningful. For many decades, the absence of a public investigation into Diana's death has been a source of fuel for conspiracy theories. There has been a resurgence in public interest in the sequence of events that led up to her tragic accident as a result of the discoveries contained in the journal. Many people are wondering whether or not all of the facts have been released. The public remains divided, with some expressing sympathy for Charles, while others perceive him as complicit in Diana's suffering. This is occurring at the same time as the royal family is dealing with the impact from these discoveries. A unique and personal look into the life of one of the most cherished individuals in contemporary history may be gained via the use of the secret journal kept by Princess Diana. Her open and honest essays shed light on the challenges she encountered during her marriage to King Charles, as well as the emotional toll that her position as a royal imposed on her. Through the publication of the diary, the public's interest in Diana's life and death has been rekindled, which has led to requests for a more in-depth examination of the tragic accident that she was involved in. The discoveries have forced King Charles to confront them, posing a threat to his reign. It is the journal that serves as a poignant reminder of their mother's fortitude and perseverance, which in turn inspires Prince William and Prince Harry to respect their mother's heritage. As people all across the globe continue to think about Diana's life, her words continue to reverberate, serving as a powerful reminder of the lasting influence that her life had and the lessons that may be learned from the challenges that she faced. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts, and goodbye for the time being.